name is Yukta from Adhyyan Books. So I am here to launch a very special book. Yes. So before we start the event, I would like to get a quick confirmation HR consultant and she has successfully planned and executed projects which were meant for educational empowerment and upliftment of students within her community. She recognized her passion for story.
Happy. So I thought that combination of documentation and storytelling it really made me realize that I should ink the paper. And the day I thought, and when I was filled till the brim, I started writing.
That's lovely. That's lovely, Anjali. That's great. So also, if I'm not wrong, you have two kids with you, right? So how did
Yes,
you
yes.
manage this writing? Because you know how your schedule must be busy with them. So how are you able to, manage and cope these things out?
Yeah, so my elder daughter is 10 years, she's very matured. She was a big help for me. And my younger one is just 3 years old. So it was very, very tough again on his part. So when I started writing the book, it was very tough. And truly, I was not managing my time at all. But my family was managing my writing for me, you could say. So
That's
initially, yes, it was tough. But after a month, I decided on something. There was a thing which was the primary thing I required while writing was complete silence and a meditative mind. But during the day, that wasn't possible. I changed my schedule completely. I started getting up around 4 a.m. in the morning and started writing. And to be honest, I've written 90% of my book in the morning hours. So when you need something and you have to do it, the nature and God is with you. And I finally, came out with the outcome.
that's great. That's great. So your family have been quite supportive, right?
Yes, yes, they were actually surprised initially. You can say that. That कौन सा काम तुमने छोड़ा है? You were in HR, then into education, then into dance and everything, and now you want to become an author. So how are you doing this and all? Then they supported me a lot, and I'm blessed to have this a wonderful family with me. I had to leave my late night dinners, parties, the web series, movies and everything. And because I had to sleep early, and in the morning I had to get up for my writing, and I was very, very passionate about it.
That's great. That's great. So, friends, I would like to tell you the book is actually available on Amazon. And yesterday night itself, it has hit the number one bestseller spot. So, shortly, we are going to share the link as well in the chat box, right? So, yes. So, Anjali, talking about this particular topic, because this topic is actually close to everybody's childhood. That is the treasure hunt, right? So, why did you choose this particular topic?
So as you said, childhood. And this thing, the treasure thing was attracted to me in my childhood also. I belong to a family in Gujarat, basically. So before marriage, I used to stay in Gandhidham, and I still remember my first visit to Udaipur, which is a place in Rajasthan. And I was fascinated with the grandeur of forts in Rajasthan. So, and then I was later married in a Rajasthani family, the family which is in Kota, Rajasthan. And then I visited many places, many historical forts. The stories about the forts and treasure always used to excite me. So, actually, it excites everyone in India because we have such a rich culture and heritage. So, when I was thinking about writing a story, it was just about the fort and the treasure. But then again there came out it turned out to be a great story with mythological stories inside stories, some love and affection, emotions, expressions with the grandparents, again animals, which is like I have affection with them, so they were also a part of this story.
So yes, definitely we're gonna keep some suspense for the readers, right?
Yes, yes. As it is
Definitely.
a fiction book, we have to.
Absolutely. Why not?
Yes.
Yes. So, Anjali, there are a lot of, storybooks present in the market. So, how do you feel that your book is actually different from others? So, what is the one thing?
Right. So, I would say that there is a lot of thriller in this book, and usually in storybooks, you get thriller. But again, there are a lot of learnings of Indian culture here, which were missing. I'm actually a reader of storybooks, so I never got a feeling of learnings in any storybooks. So you can say that the book has it all. The story can be read through all the illustrations which are present in the book, and if you look at the illustrations, you'll be able to understand the whole story. And the story can also be understood with the poem which is there in the stories. So as the story progresses, the poem also gets bigger. And then again, it is the biggest treasure of this book.
That's great. So, you've added a lot of poems, if I'm not wrong, in the book.
Yes, yes, yes. And there are some bedtime stories also, which followed from generations to generations, and they were told to the main character, who is Anya here. And these stories were irrelevant, to find the treasure. So the excitement in the main characters, started growing a lot. And
Absolutely.
eventually, with all the mythological stories and everything, it gave a final clue to the treasure also. So these poems are a real, once you go through the poems, you would love it.
So, while you're talking about Anya, so I would, like you to tell us something more about, the main character, which is Anya.
Okay, so Anya here, I have started this book with her some introduction of her age when she was 4 years of age, and then I continued when she grew up 10 years old. So I really love Anya in this, and she is the intelligent girl and a very very great observer. So she is able to connect various events, all the mythological stories, bedtime stories, and her clue for the. And finally, she ended with the clue for the treasure. All these were insignificant, you would say, but she took out sense of them and found the clue. So she had a very good connect with her grandparents and with the animals, the respect which we have for the parents and everything. And at the end, the treasure was also through her clue.
That's great. That's great. So I see a lot of comments. People are congratulating you, for this particular launch.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for all the wishes. I really need this motivation to write the further, books on this topic. And this is actually a series which will grow further.
That's great. So, friends, you have. So please feel free to drop the questions in the comment box. I'll be happy to pick some for Anjali. Yes. So Anjali, if I talk about you to the further there are a lot of characters in the book, right? I have gone through the book personally, and it's absolutely great, right? So I've gone through the book, and there are a lot of chapters, a lot of characters. So which one is your favorite character, except from Anya?
Okay, so there are few characters like Gaurav and Rahul. We have their wonderful conversations there between these two. And then we have Dadaji and Dadi. So there are a lot of emotional sharing events between Anya and Dadaji and Dadi. So, and then there is Arav, who is a small brother of Anya. Then we have animal pet also. So I think every character here plays a very very significant role, and no character can be missed out here. So mine are all our favorites, but yes, Anya is connected to each one of them, so Anya is the best here.
That's great. So, while you were talking about, there are a lot of conversation with, between
Right.
Gaurav and Rahul, right? So Gaurav is Anya's father, right? So which one is your favorite one while they were traveling to Balagan?
See, I would really appreciate that conversation between Rahul and Gaurav, because they were discussing about nuclear families, joint families, their childhood time, and their visit to the hometown, and meeting their parents. Because I have been born and brought up in a joint family, so I really know the difference between a joint family, the feelings which you miss in a nuclear family and which are there in the joint family. I have been born and brought up through my grandparents only. So, I mean, apart from my parents, grandparents were my major support there. So, those discussions were really very, very close to my heart. And you can say that conversations between Rahul and Gaurav are amazing. You would, I mean, a person who is a child who is 8 years of age, or a person who is 80 years of age, they'll drive down to the memory lane and they'll, cherish their childhood once they read this book.
Absolutely, absolutely. I truly agree because while I was going through the conversation, it seems to be like we just the way we do with our parents. So definitely, that is
Exactly,
absolutely
exactly.
relatable for the audience, right?
Right, right, right.
So while you were talking about the poems, so a lot of poems are there in the book. So I would really want if you have the book in your hand. So do you have that
Yes,
currently?
yes, yes. It's
Lovely.
finally in my hands now.
Such a happy moment for
I'm
you, right?
so and I'm so so happy to hold it in my hands. My words are there in my hands, very close to my heart.
Feels like your third baby, right?
Exactly, you can say that.
That's great. So can you just, read out a small poem for us, which is actually very close to your heart?
Uh, okay. So,
So yes, meanwhile Anjali is reciting a poem for us. I would really want you all to, just drop down the questions in the comment box if you have for Anjali. So it will be great. I will be happy to pick a few of them. Yes,
Yukta, I think I should read out the best one in the whole book.
absolutely.
Best poem here. So, best words written here are: the Balagarh fort is very old. There are still many stories untold. Ruled by the kings who were mighty and bold, I still remember the bedtime stories told. There were hidden treasure of diamond and gold. Generations after generations, these stories have rolled. High in the sky, the sight of eagles behold. Somewhere, somehow, the clue will unfold. The eagle and snake stories have been foretold. Their enmity of centuries enfold in this the clue of the hidden treasure of diamond and gold. Every bedtime story told, all these stories were many centuries old. Eventually, the snake and eagle hold hidden treasure of diamond and gold.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you
Yes,
so much, Anjali. Thank you so very much. This
you're
poem
welcome.
was absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Yes. So, taking certain things ahead. So, a lot of chapters. So, while I was going through the chapters, each chapter added certain value to the book. So, like, what was the actually reason behind adding those value, those cultural values you added in the book?
See, when I used to read storybooks, this was the only thing which I actually missed. Storybooks are read by children, though by elders too, and this book is somehow for children and for adults too. But I used to miss, there were conversations in all the stories which I read earlier, but I wanted to embark some spark of learnings in this book. So after every chapter, or if you could say in every chapter, there are some learnings, some new words, some new explanations. Or if you ask a child why the lamp is lit, they really don't have the answer now. So there are very, very small things which have meanings, and they are having a great value in this book. So
That's great.
small learnings, you can say, and small events, small, emotional conversations with the grandparents. So these things make a big value for this book.
That's great. That's great, Anjali. Definitely, you're adding a lot of value because these stories are meant for children, and
Right.
I really relate that the agenda of writing these values could be so that children are aware of them. Definitely.
Yeah. So this book is for children and for adults. You won't believe, like, if you read 30 or 40 pages of this book, you won't be able to leave it till you mark till the end.
Absolutely, absolutely. So,
Right.
while I was just going through the table of contents, so I was very excited to, see the names of the chapters, right? So there were a lot of chapters. The name of the chapters were like On Your Mark, Get Set, Go, Walk Down the Memory Lane, and my best, and my favorite, East and West Family is the best. So, what was the reason of, like, what was in your mind when you were naming the chapters?
See, initially, I did not have any plans to name the chapters, honestly. But then, just to make it a little more exciting, and I wanted to, I wanted a spark initially in every chapter. So, I wanted to give unique names to the chapters, and which should make sense too. So, I really give this credit to my primary editor, who is Jishna, and she helped me with all the chapter names. We discussed and we finalized there.
That's great. That's great. I also saw that you mentioned her name in the acknowledgement, right?
Yes, yes, she was a big support. She, even tried. I mean, even the illustrator was of very good help, because explaining a fiction book through illustrations is not easy.
Absolutely.
But in this book, if you go through the illustrations, you will understand the whole writing here.
Definitely.
So,
Illustrations
and
make
again, yes, yes, and the chapter names also. They are very, very exciting, and you won't leave the chapters once you read two or three of them.
absolutely, absolutely. Yes. So, also like towards the end, you have also mentioned a glossary, right?
Right.
So if I go through that glossary, the glossary is actually, has very common names like
Yeah.
poha, dadaji, dadiji, paratha, amras, right? So I just wanted to know, like, what was the actually reason for that? Like, why did you
See,
choose?
I Right. So I wanted to write this book for a larger audience, and not restricted to some small audience, like only a age group of 8 to 12 or 8 to 15. And so this book is, as I told you earlier, for children and for adults too. And there are some words like poha, as you said, parathas, sari, and these are some spoken words in Hindi language. But I want this book to be read by people who do not understand Hindi also, or to say they are of not so fluent in Hindi. So, and any Tamilian or any Gujarati or people should be able to understand this completely. And even people outside India don't understand these Hindi words, as you know. Like they would be really surprised ke hota kya hai ye? What is poha and what is sari? So I want कि एक एक चीज इतनी clear और इतनी precise भी होनी चाहिए, that they should not stop on any point of time while reading this book, and should be able to read and understand this completely.
That's great. That's great. So, talking about the flow of the book, so I have personally gone through the content, and as I said, the flow of the language is so easy to understand that anybody can
Very
understand.
easy.
Right? It feels
Yes,
like
yes.
it's actually going to be relatable to any of the conversations that we are doing with our mom and dad when it comes to selection of any vacations or anything like that. I will not reveal talk much about the content because definitely I don't want to reveal it. right? So the flow of the story
Let's
is
let's let's keep the suspense and thrill on, and let people go through the book completely and have fun.
absolutely, absolutely. So I would like to tell this to everybody. So Anjali's book is available on Amazon, right? So yesterday night itself, it hit the bestseller spot. So I will be shortly putting the links in the chat box so that everybody can, purchase and go through this such a lovely book. So Anjali, on this specific day, are you planning to give any special offer to the, people who are purchasing the book today?
So you're actually pushing me for this. Maybe see, if someone buys this book and either if there is some adult and they have their kids, or if some child is buying this book, so the daughter or the son, if he recites or he or she recites the final poem of this book, which is written on the last chapter, and he or she sends me on the Instagram, which I mean, the Instagram link is mentioned in the book. So if they recite it completely and they send it to me on Instagram, I will evaluate the best three contestants, and the second book will be completely free, signed copy from my end, and I'll send it to them personally. So this
That's
is the
great.
best offer I have right now.
So yes, the link is mentioned in the chat box. So whoever wants to avail this offer, definitely click on the buy link and purchase the book, right?
And let's keep this offer till 28th of February, so that I would get the entries. I will, evaluate them, and this will really motivate me to write further series too. Further
Absolutely,
book
absolutely.
on this series, yes.
So how can people contact you, Anjali?
See, I have my Instagram ID on this book, which is mentioned in this book itself. And then I have my email ID too, which I have shared with you already. And they can mail me, contact me, and I would revert probably on the same day itself. And I would really appreciate to take all the feedbacks, honest feedbacks, which would really help me for my further work.
That's great. That's great. So Anjali, like while talking to you, you told that you're planning further series as well. So just wanted to know what are those? All of them are going to be, these story books. What are your plans for your future projects?
So the suspense and the thriller is the main content. When I get excited and thrilled reading these kind of story books, I am sure when I document them on the paper, people will be excited to read them too. And initially, this is the first part of the book. So I have a lot of plans. Even started writing my second book on the same series. So as I am in love for writing, even my editors are waiting that when are you, sending us the second book to read. And I would humbly request everyone to give me honest feedback here, and I'll take it with the gratitude. And I'm working on the next book for this on the same series. And after this, maybe I would come down with some other series with the same suspense and thriller.
So suspense and thriller is very close to your heart, right?
Exactly. This
That's
this keeps me lively, and I believe if someone is into reading the fiction book with suspense, with thriller, and again with learnings and emotions, is would really work well.
that's great. That's great, Anjali. So anything you would like the readers, the audience, you would like to, convey to them? Anything?
I would only say that see, this is actually my first book, and I have put my heart and soul into it. And after completing this book it took me 6 months around to complete this book. I The only motivation are the readers. The only whole soul motivation are my readers. I really want them to buy this, read this, and come up to me with the honest reviews, and I would be elated and take it with complete gratitude.
That's great. That's great, Anjali. So yes, the link is there in the chat box. So the book is available in ebook version as well as the physical book. So definitely, Anjali has given an amazing offer, which is valid till 28th. Right, Anjali?
Correct, correct. 28th Feb. And I would be very happy to if there are a lot of entries, I would be very happy to hear my story and sign the second copy. I'll complete my second book quickly and send it to them.
That's great. That's great. I see a lot of wishes in the comment box, right? And everybody just loved the poem that you recited.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm
Well,
really honored.
well, yes. So, yes, anything that you would like to add, Anjali, for the viewers who are there right now?
Yeah, anyone who is looking forward to read something which is having emotions, respect, love, and thriller, suspense. You have a one-stop point for you. Just click order it, and uh, I would be waiting for the reviews.
That's great. Thank you so very much, Anjali. It was a lovely
Thank you
conversation
so
with
much.
you today. Yes. So,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much, Anjali, for joining us. Yes, so the link is there in the chat box. All of you can grab the amazing book, which is written by Anjali, Key to Hidden Fort Treasure. Yes, so thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Happy to see such lovely comments. So, we're coming up with another book launch event, which is going to be on Friday. So, you can stay tuned for that. Thank you so much, everybody.